GM Interaction.
Alright, Wariko, Nottingham representative from day back. Check out my resume, you'll see what it is. Wariko.co.uk. Listen to my music, download my mix CDs, check me out on the YouTube, and you'll see what it's about. I've been repping this Notts team from day. Yeah? And right now, it's GM Interactions. What we say, 5 questions. Don't know what these questions are, but let's get into this, innit? See what pops off. Top 5 Nottingham artists. I'm gonna go with my number 1, Joe P. Yeah? And the reason I'm gonna put Joe P in there, Joe P has been like for this rap thing, for Nottingham personally, like obviously you did have man doing it before him. As a youngster, we could be talking like 12 years ago now, Joe P was going college, doing his college courses and making up his little mixtapes. You get me, like NOTTZ and Naughty Shotty and Smoking Barrels and his foundation. You get me? So I'm gonna put Joe P in there. And next man I'm gonna put in there, I'm gonna put Scorsese in there. Yeah, and the reason I'm gonna put Scorsese in there is no disrespect, but maybe not for firing up the roads now. Yeah, but for what he's done, the fact that he's actually taken this Nottingham name outside of the ends. Like I can go Newcastle, Liverpool, probably might, you get me, like I can go a lot of places. They'll know about Scorsese and that track Great Britain, which was in The Guardian, everything, you get me? So Scorsese in there, definitely. Number 3, Paris 1 in there, yeah? Not a lot of people are gonna put a female in there, yeah? She's pioneering this Nottingham thing. I don't know whether you think she's the hardest, she's out there and she's pushing this Nottingham name to the full, you get me? So number 4, I'm going to put Jar Digger in there. And the reason I'm going to put Jar Digger in there, he is an icon. He spits over a variety of different beats, whether it's rap, he can excel on a rap beat, you can put him on a grime beat. I ain't heard him on grime too much lately, personally, you get me? Like, I don't know, I think man them are doing this commercial thing and getting it in on that side of the fence, you get me? Like, everyone's got their views on that, you get me? Like, me personally, I'm keeping it underground, but Jar Digger, I'm going to put him in there, car. He is a beast, and from young, he's been a name brand, inspired a lot of youngsters on this thing. Number 5, this is off the top of my head, you know, yeah, but me personally, number 5, I'm going to throw Rapperoo in there. I do believe it could be a lot more consistent. I feel as though, like, me coming up as a youngster, when I first moved back to Nottingham, Rapperoo was messing it up, you get me? Like, he was the name brand, on the name on everyone's lips, you get me? But I feel as though he hasn't took it to that next level. And in terms of like pushing the name, like when I go out of the ends, I don't really hear people mention Rapperoo to me, you get me? But in Nottingham, Rapperoo's definitely an icon for this rap thing. Also, for the fact that when a lot of man were doing this, man weren't really rapping like Nottingham man. You get me? Like, when I come back to Notts, a lot of man was spitting like Londoners, fam, and some man were doing the American shit, and you get me? Like, Rapperoo, he's always sounded gritty Nottingham, you get me? Straight from the gutter, Nottingham, local, you get me? So, they're my top 5 right there, personally for me, you get me? As it stands right now. Big up all of the man them doing their thing though, innit? I rate a lot of you. I personally would change the fact that the people, the elders, it might not be within their interest to really give a fuck about what the younger generation are doing. You get me? But I would change the fact that I would change the people who are in the position to help the Nottingham scene. Yeah? And this might be controversial, but I don't know who deals with Carnival. Yeah, but I change the man them who do Carnival, innit? Yeah, because I don't know if they're eating out the Carnival funding and paying their mortgage, or I don't know what they're using the money for, you get me? But I just feel like they show no respect to the local artists. I feel like they don't even try to be in tune with what the younger generation as a whole would like to see on the carnival. And that's just one instance, you get me? Like, if I could change that, I would change that. The people who are in the position to inspire the next generation, whoever it is, I don't know who they are, so no one can say I'm being personal, yeah, but whoever it is, they need to come out of the position, you get me? Cause they're just caring about themselves. It's obvious. Not a lot of people really want to see these old school reggae artists on the carnival. You get me? Like, yeah, we got the elder generation who do want to see them, but we got a lot of the generation who want to see the local talent. You get me? And it coming like they're grudging to pay the man them a little 150 or 2 bills. You get me? To put us on there. You get me? So I would change that, and I think it would benefit us as a whole. Nottingham. You get me? The whole music scene. You get me? Let me take a sip of my Guinness. Well, me personally, I'm a grime man, innit? Yeah, like I'm saying grime all day. I think that grime is the UK genre. Forget the London attachment and all of that. Like grime is represented in every ends. Like I could go Cornwall and see a little white youth on the ends, yeah, and I could say, yo fam, spit some bars for me, and he's probably got a bar for me. You get me? A little double time grime bar for me. I feel like when we talk, we don't talk slow in England, yeah? I'm dealing with the realness. Our mother tongue, when we speak, we don't speak like Americans, yeah? We don't speak slow. We speak fast, yeah? We speak double time, innit? Like, when you listen to any young English brother on the ends, and you hear how man them are talking, whether you go London, you'll hear man them are talking fast, innit? You go Birmingham, them man talk a bit slower, you get me? But we talk fast on a whole, innit? Like, I believe I'm spitting in the same tempo as I'm talking to you right now, you get me? Yeah, and it's a double time thing, innit? Yeah, like, I feel like grime is the UK thing, innit? It's our thing. Raps for America, yeah. Like, grime is for England, innit? The UK. That's my point, yeah? Done it there. Well, number one, I'd probably say this guy is my idol, you get me? Like, I look up to this brother, like I buy his music, you get me? Like, I'd say Wiley. My comparison with Wiley would be the fact that he's like pioneered a genre in his ends, yeah? Like, he's pioneered a genre in his ends, and he's helped a lot of man as well, you get me? And helped a lot of guys to come through, and you get me? Like, he's contributed to a lot of man's inspiration, you get me? And success, yeah? And I feel like he don't get the credit for it, you get me? Like, he gets the credit, but it's like he's sort of hated for it, innit? That's how I feel like I can relate to Wiley, you get me? Because when I first come back to Notts, yeah, like, there weren't no one in Notts whose name was branching out for this grime thing, you get me? And I feel like when I come to Nottingham and I jumped on this grime thing, I helped to make the accent become in fashion, if you know what I'm saying. Because London accent's in fashion. Let's be real, the London accent is in fashion. And things like a film like One Day will make the Birmingham accent become in fashion. If we look over to America and say, obviously, we know that they're years ahead of us, yeah, so we can look at them for inspiration, yeah, like, and aspire to grow like they did, yeah. Like, if you look on it, it was a New York thing. It was a New York thing, and New York was in fashion, Bronx and Brooklyn and rah. But then, now I see ladies writing like, yeah, their and her, you get me? So it is all about your accent becoming in fashion. Don't ever get it twisted, yeah. Like, if your accent becomes in fashion, then the whole town's bubbling, and what you do within that town reverberates around the country. I feel like I'm a big ambassador for getting this Nottingham accent in fashion. You get me? Cause if you go around the country and you say, yeah, Nottingham, I believe that there a lot of men are gonna say Wariko. You get me? And I spit in the Nottingham accent. You get me? I lived in London for 8 years and I never once started twanging like a London man, innit? Yeah, like certain man go pen for 2 years and come out talking like a Birmingham man and a Londoner. You get me? Like I lived there for 8 years and I kept my Nottingham ting in it, cause I'm real to this Nottingham ting and I'm pushing this Nottingham ting, you get me? So trust me man, yeah man, that's that, definitely. Secondly, I would compare myself to I don't know if a lot of man have heard of this guy, yeah. There's a guy called Young Mad B. You know, like his whole persona, what he comes with, yeah, like it's a bit more conscious, if you know what I'm saying, yeah. Like, and if you check out man's content and what they're actually talking about, man are talking about what 100 other artists are talking about, probably 500 other UK artists are talking about. You get me? And I feel like Young Mad B, I feel like he will go into his own little way of talking, you get me, and talk about what he wants to talk about as opposed to jumping into what everybody wants to talk about, you get me, and I can relate to that, innit, yeah, so I feel like I could compare myself to that. And Young Mad B, I don't think he's not nationally recognised, innit, but he's recognised, you get me, like Young Mad B is hard, innit, you get me, he's a rapper, he's vocalist, he's hard, you get me. And number 3, Bashe. He's very articulate. Like, he's a very articulate guy. Like, you can listen to him and you can see that just his vocabulary, what he uses within his music and his lyrics, yeah. Like, even my auntie has come to me and says, oh yeah, I went to a show and there was this guy called Bashe and he reminded me of you. Like, my auntie's very like, you get me, she's like a white woman, you get me? Yeah, like, and obviously she's come to me and she says, yeah, like, you remind me of Bashe, you get me? And I think if you listen to my music, like, obviously I got my greasy mode, but I got my articulate mode, my eloquent mode. And if you listen to that, I think it could compare with Bashe, you get me? So, yeah, man. From Wiley, 100% I'll take Wiley's work rate. Alright then, me, yeah, like sometimes I laugh to myself, innit, car. Every day I'll get like about 30 messages on my Facebook saying, yeah, Wariko, bro, like youngsters looking up to me. And I think, yo, like it just makes me feel like I feel to myself like, yo, it's mad, like I will have so much youngsters looking up to me, but then I'll look up to Wiley and aspire to his work rate. Like, he's had so many man like going at him, yeah, he's so thick-skinned, yeah, like, and his work rate conquers everything what anyone can say about him. Like, you'll have man saying he's a fucking paedophile, he's fucking takes coke, smokes this, that, you get me? And but his work rate kills any accusation you could put onto him, innit? Like, so I would take that from him, innit, car. His work rate is 100% on point. Like, I would love to have that work rate, innit? You get me? Like, probably my life, probably my whole, even my financial status and my financial position. I can't do that right now, innit, car. I ain't got the peas yet to just enable me to just concentrate solely on music. Young Mad B, I take his vocal ability. You get me? Like, his singing skills, innit, car. When you listen to my new music, people will see, innit, like, I have got a little vocal skill, you get me, and I can do a little vocal skill, yeah, but Young Mad B is nice with the vocals, you get me? So Bashe, if I could take something from Bashe, I'd get an acting link, innit? You get me? Like, I'd get an acting link, innit? Cause I got an A-star at drama, anybody, innit? So if there's somebody out there who's making a film and you know it's going somewhere, and you need a Nottingham redder, yeah, wherever you're from, yeah, holler at me, innit, yeah, cause that's something I would love to do. Like, I would love to do acting. I got A-star in drama, yeah, and trust me, like, you give me a part, and I'll do the damn thing. You get me? Yeah, so that's what I'll take from them, man, innit? You get me? Therefore. Yeah, man. I'm about to drop a little ting right now for GM Interactions. Show you a bit of lyrical vocab. You know how we do. Listen. I'm asking myself, what's the purpose of life? Am I meant to be after the wealth? I chase cash, but still ask, is there something else? Every day is a struggle. I hustle and feel like I'm chasing after myself. When I feel the squeeze, I feel for cheese, blaze the whole bag to myself. I pick the yak, twist the cap, back the whole glass to myself. That alleviates the pain, but I feel the same. Am I harassing myself? This corrupted world is bad for my health. The system put a bullet in a gun, which I feel to take and blast at myself. They ain't gonna see me working at BK, Subway, KFC, or McD's. You know what I'm on about. Get up and I run about, making a day what they'll make in a week. I ain't saying you shouldn't go to work, but make sure the work works for you. Then build a little business and get workers that are happy to work for you. Then without no further ado, make a list saying things you'll be certain to do. Be sure to be ticking them off. And you're sure to be pissing them off. All the people that have written you off. The system has written us off. From a young age meant to be getting a job. Staying that for a little bit, stack for a little bit, move on cause you want to get a better job. Move out the yard when you get a bit of bob, then you're meant to get a mortgage. But if not, you'll be paying out money that you could have gave your kids. That's your biz. Even a mortgage is tying you down. When you really check it out, you owe money for 30 years for a little blood clot house. They got us feeling proud. GM Interactions. That's how we're doing it. And I'm out.